So today I'm going to walk you through the process of what it takes to actually obtain a real ID today and how it doesn't differ from what is being required for the Voter Registration Act. The very first question is, where were you born? If you were born in the United States, cool. If you were born outside of the United States, well, then there's some questions. Were your parents citizens, or were you born on a military base of some sort? It's going to give you some suggested documents to prove your citizenship, which is a U.S. passport, a birth certificate, or an affidavit of birth if you're connected with one of the tribes of our great country. Next, it's going to ask whether or not your name has changed from the original documents. So that's marriage, divorce decree, or I think a few other scenarios. So you're going to have to provide documentation for that. And remind you, this is not for the voter registration yet. This is just to obtain the real ID. So these are requirements that are already required of you to obtain a real ID. Next is providing documents that verify your identification number. That's going to be your social security card. That's going to be tax forms. That's going to be pay stubs, something that has your full legal name with your full identification number. And guess what? Again, these are not required for the Voter Registration Act. This is required already of you under the 2005 Real ID Act that they barely started implementing in 2025. So don't let the Democrats lie to you saying that this is going to disenfranchise anybody to any degree. These requirements are already in place. We then move on to residency requirements. Are you a resident of New Mexico or whatever state you're from? So this is going to involve utility bills, bank statements. I believe educational paperwork will suffice, like transcripts, enrollment documentations, maybe even some insurance documentations if it's dated within the last 6 months. Now, there's secondary criteria for individuals who are under 18 years old, but for the sake of this video, we're going to skip those because I'm making this in regards to the Voter Registration Act, the SAVE Act, to show you that the requirements for the SAVE Act are already in place via the Real ID Act of 2005, which again was not implemented until 2025, 20-year delay on an ID bill. That's ridiculous. So upon meeting this criteria, guess what? You're ready for a real ID. And all this is the same criteria needed for the SAVE Act. So as far as it disenfranchising voters, that doesn't make sense because of the Real ID Act of 2005. To put it simply, the party that says that they're the most highest educated, well-sophisticated individuals are basically telling you you're too dumb to get an ID. That doesn't track. Call your senators. Pass the SAVE Act.